as a community can do better.
What do you want to tell your children about this moment?
We need reforms.
From the All Indiana Podcast Network, we stand together.
Everybody's here together, black, white, brown, everybody.
A platform for progress in our community.
We need to do a better job.
I want to show that we can be peaceful.
This is just as much our fight as it is yours.
Discussing the problems of racial inequality and solutions to combat discrimination in a conversation for change.
We'll be able to build on this.
I never in a million years thought I would embrace a cop like that.
From Wish TV, we stand together.
We Stand Together is a campaign Wish TV started recently. It's an opportunity for progress within our community and promotes a conversation, providing a voice to speak of the problems of racial inequality and look towards solutions. Tonight we hear from Ann Murlow, the CEO of one of Indiana's largest organizations, United Way of Central Indiana. It can be as simple as her words. We know and we hear you. Okay, Ann, so for folks at home who maybe aren't aware of the United Way, aren't sure what it is that you folks do, what is it?
Well, our vision is that the quality of life in Central Indiana is something that we're proud of for everyone who lives in our community. And we know we have a long way to go in that respect. So we fight for the education, financial stability, health, and basic needs of everyone in our community. It's just that simple.
How do you do that?
Well, we really focus on three things. We focus on basic needs, which really means health, hunger, housing, and transportation, plus family opportunity, which is integrated services for everyone living in a household, children and adults, and then social innovation, which is creative ideas to really improve the efficiency and effectiveness of both basic needs provision and family opportunity within the household to move families out of poverty.
In light of everything that's transpired over the past few months, you've decided to start this educational series on racial equity. Tell us a little bit about that.
We have. Well, our research makes it very, very clear that families that are really struggling to make ends meet in all of the 6 counties that we cover in Central Indiana are disproportionately families of color. Families of color are growing in that population, that struggling population in every one of our 6 counties. So clearly we have an issue. And that didn't happen overnight. And so there are systems in place. So what you're seeing in the last month or so is a greater awakening to the fact that systemic racism is playing a part in the conditions that now are maybe becoming more obvious. The fact that we do have more families of color that are suffering these conditions, and that we need to unwind those systems in order to make it possible for these families to lift themselves out of these conditions. And that really is the focus of our work.
So folks who want to maybe participate in this, what do they need to know?
Well, you need to kind of understand the systems that have been in place. And by systems, I mean policies and sort of the history of the systems that have been put in place over decades and decades that have led us to where we are so that we can inform policies and systems going forward that will be more fair and equitable. We engage not only in programming, but also in public policy. And so that programming and public policy is better informed by our community if we can all understand where we've been so we don't repeat history as we move forward.
4-part series starting on July 15th.
It is. We've got 2,400 people already registered, but it is virtual. And the beauty of virtual is that we can do it for as many people as are interested. So we're delighted by the level of interest so far and invite everybody to join.
As you mentioned that this has been going on for quite some time. We've seen incidents similar to the one that happened in Minneapolis with George Floyd for years. Why do you think this specific incident has taken on such a big movement?
I think we've heard about incidents like this for many, many years. I think what happened this time is that we saw these incidents several times in rapid succession.
But we also saw Rodney King, though, too.
Yeah, we saw them over and over again, and so many people saw them over and over again. I think social media played a huge part in this, and I think I think a lot of conversations have happened, and a lot more people are on an equity journey now than ever were before. And I think that's a good thing. And I hope the conversations continue, not just at a group level, but at an individual level. I think that that's really important. I think everyone is at a different place in their equity journey. Each individual is at a different place in their equity journey, and I think it's really important for each individual to be very introspective about where they are and to continue that journey themselves, as well as to continue the conversation as a community, because we only make progress if we do both of those things.
1 year from now, when we sit here and talk with each other again, which I hope we do, where will we be? You think change will be made?
Oh, I certainly hope so. And we're committed to being part of that.
Last question. Just final thoughts. What do you want people at home to know?
Well, I hope people are hopeful. I think I see a range of emotions. I do feel that the community is very hopeful, but I also see some people who are cautiously optimistic. I see some people who are tired. I see some people some members of the Black community who are tired and need us to lift them up, because they've been here before, and they've been hopeful before, and they haven't seen change, and they really need us as allies to be there for them this time.
I lied to you. I have one more question. I do that often during these interviews. Something pops up in my mind. You talked about policies. Is there anything specific that the United Way, policy-wise, would like to see done, would like to see changed?
We're working on the specifics now. We've worked on early childhood education for a long time. So really getting funding for quality early childhood education, pre-K in particular, for low-income families who will never be able to afford it on their own. We still don't have that for all of the families that really need it in Indiana, so we're going to continue to fight for that. We are continuing to lobby for really better eviction laws. We know we are headed for a real problem, and it keeps getting pushed out, but we're headed for a real problem in the next couple of months if we don't get significantly more aid from the federal government because of this crisis on the rental front. So those are the kinds of things we'll be working with others to try to deal with. We won't be able to do it alone, but with our partners, we're optimistic that we'll work on solutions.
Fingers crossed. Remember, you can also listen to our We Stand Together podcast at any time. Tonight's episode and others are found at the allindianapodcastnetwork.com.
From Wish TV, we stand together. Watch, read, listen, and be a part of the conversation online at wishtv.com and when you follow Wish TV on Facebook. Find more episodes of We Stand Together and other podcasts from Wish TV online anytime at allindianapodcastnetwork.com. allindianapodcastnetwork.com.